What's up, beautiful beings? Your girl Carrie Money here, and welcome back to the channel, sugars. How's your day going? It's going good, y'all. It's Monday, y'all. This Monday, I am exhausted and I am tired, and I'm going through my own transition and transformation, and alchemizing some things, and just being more aware of my presence in my social spaces and my self, and wondering if there's something like wondering like what are my refuses, like what are some things that I'm just not going to do, like what are some things that I am willing to try, and what are some things that are just a dead as boundary. And it's been on my heart to talk about transitions, especially transitioning out of something that caused a little bit of trauma, a little bit of PTSD, where it makes you question where you're going and how you're going to show up in that new space that you're going to. For me, that space was the military, and then from being in the military, it was going through a divorce. And I don't speak about this often because I don't, I just started to break this down with another one of my battles, as we call them in the military. She did not work with me, but she was also a Black woman that worked in the office spaces of the military. And I don't think a lot of people really understand how mentally exhausted you can be, especially if you're going through a military intelligence or a military MOS, that, like, especially when you're in a space where you're not supported, you're not really loved on, you're not really nourished, that you have to go through tough challenges in order to learn how to nourish yourself in an environment where you are surrounded by people who you wouldn't trust to go to battle with. It brings out of you a certain level of distrust when it comes to having jobs outside of the military, working for yourself, and also how you see yourself. And so what has helped me in this season that I'm in after not being in the military for a while, it has taught me to be delusional. I bet you weren't expecting that, huh? It's taught me really to be delusional. Like, the brain really doesn't know the difference between fear and excitement, and so you have to psych yourself out and say that I'm excited for this new challenge in my life. And yes, there's some parts of me that are introverted, but I want to be the extroverted CEO, or I want to be the CEO that's able to talk to people and have good conversations with people and network in a way that is true to myself, but also, who am I? Also, I want to be in this space and show up in a time where I want to show up in that space as a boss. How does that boss speak? The only way you find out those things, and the only way how you better those habits in order to become the person that you want to be, is by doing the things that you feel uncomfortable with doing now. And I have a video that when I speak about there's a lot of things that the person you want to be, what's the video name? It's titled "The Person Who You Are Now Refuses a Lot of Things That You Didn't Before," or "The Person You Want to Be Refuses a Lot of the Things That You Do Now." And whether either one of those titles are correct, that bounced in my that came back to me and struck me in my speech right now, because it really makes you think. Not necessarily because listen, we ain't destiny in, okay? We ain't destinationing all the time. We ain't destiny and destinationing. Creating new words right now, y'all. We are not destinationing, okay? We are journeying, you know? And there's a lot of times where we want to destination and think about the things ahead, but you have to take the journey for what it is and accept where you are now. And where I am now is planning, in a place of strategizing and planning how I am going to show up and be my best self and stop the habits that are producing delays within my manifestations of who I want to be and where I want to go. And I am accepting my reality for what it is, but also attuning to a level of grow up and maturity in the approach toward betterment. And in doing so, I'm looking at myself like, oh, I like that. I like that you did that. I'm cheering you on with that. And then I'm also like, don't do that again. We won't do that again. We refuse to do that. And will we do that? Not really sure, but should we dibble and dabble in it and try it and see if it's okay and then go that way? And then I'm also like, okay, I love that you did that, but here's some things that we can do a little bit better that doesn't seem a little cringe. Like talking on YouTube. Like, I remember first starting this and I was so nervous to be on the camera and everything, and now I feel like if it's more of a conversation, but I need to listen to myself more because I still have that insecurity of yikes, that sounds crazy. Why did I say that? Why didn't I be more like energetic? Why didn't I do this and why didn't I do that? And there's a reason why I'm talking about this, because there's obviously somebody who's going through the same thing. And as you're transitioning, you may not know who the hell you are tomorrow, or you probably woke up earlier this morning and looked in the mirror and was like, dang, how we gonna do this, or what are we doing, or who are we, you know? And that happened to me a few months ago, where I was like, dang girl, you're 28 years old, you're about to be 29, soon you'll be 30, and there's some consistencies that need to be consistencies. There's y'all comment down below if y'all like my new words. Comment down below if you love my new words. Let me know. Let me know if you rocking with them or you're not. Listen. We are coming up with new words, new vocab. It's called the Carry Your Money vocab, okay? I'm gonna give y'all, I'll make sure that you all have a nice dictionary thesaurus by the end. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But anyway, the consistencies in doing your own checks and balances are so crucial. And I don't really have people who are like checking on me to make sure that I'm getting things done, or people who are cheering me on. Like I can't tell you how many times I've had somebody there with me when I'm celebrating a big accomplishment in my life, you know? And that's not to say that it can be considered sad. There's some people who have family who they get to, spend a lot of time with their families and things like that. But unfortunately, I did not grow up in that life where I have a close-knit relationship to my family. And so it is pretty lonely. And I have to be the person that's doing the checks and balances of myself. I'm also doing my own parenting. I'm also changing my frame of mind to saying like, I can ask for help, and when I do ask for help, I don't need to be scared any longer of receiving a no, because everybody has their own lives, right? But I do peep at the things where, I'm saying, I'm telling somebody I need help and they tell me some other sources to go to. Because a lot of people have assumptions, right? So it's in this transition, you can be doubtful, you can be fearful, you can be excited, you can be so many things. But the only thing that's going to push you forward is if you keep going forward and you allow yourself to be delusional in times where you really don't know where the hell you're going and how the hell you're going to get there and what it's going to take. You just have to go day by day and face the challenges as they are and really just conquer your own self in order to manifest the person that you are truly trying to be. And so I leave you all with this. In a matter of learning to love yourself, you're also learning how to view other people. The way how you accept yourself, the way how you love yourself through challenges, the way how you love yourself through your breaking points and to get to your breakthrough is going to completely shift how you see someone else's, trials and tribulations. And if you want to and you desire to just, be in a different headspace as it pertains to perception of yourself, really remember that you may be so hard on yourself, but the people outside looking in, their perception of you is completely different than how you treat yourself. And if you would allow yourself to adopt, if you will, that perception that other people, show you, then there's no telling, there's no telling the places that you'll go if you just allow yourself to be delusional for just a few days, consistently, just a few days, just to say, instead of me being fearful of this thing, I'm going to be excited. Just instead of me being angry at this thing, I'm going to be curious. Just instead of me feeling like as if I have to grieve this part of myself, I am going to accept this part of myself and also forgive myself. Remember that we are not destinationing, but we are journeying. And so I love y'all. Peace, love, and beautiful, beautiful, beautiful positive vibes. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment to me your favorite quote, a really good quote that you've heard lately. All right, I love you all. Bye.